It is equally heartwarming to note that to note here that as far as of today, we have qualified athletes in numbers and in key sports that will generate a strong Nigerian delegation to the Rio 2016 Olympic Games. The qualification status is currently as follows. We have athletics, 31 number that have qualified, including relay teams. We have basketball, 12 athletes, that is the male team. You are aware that the female team is yet to go for the qualification, and I think their qualification is coming sometimes in June or something like that. Boxing, we have only one athlete. Canoe slalom, only one athlete. Football, we have the 18, the male team. Rowing, we have one athlete. Table tennis, we have 5. And then wrestling, we have 7. The other, that is 2 male and 5 female. You are aware that the weightlifting are yet to do their qualification. They are going to Cameroon very soon, sometime in May for their own qualification. And then we have the athletics too. They are going to do another qualification. I told you about the basketball, the female, and so on. So that's the ones that are waiting for them to qualify, so we can have our own total contingent so that we know the number of athletes. We can only expect our athletes to do well in Rio if they are provided with all the necessary support they require in their participation. I'm fully aware that the Games Planning Committee put in place by the Honorable Minister of Youth and Sport has lined up the training and camping program for the Nigerian athletes and teams, and these programs are being activated as planned. This committee is a joint committee, and the MOC too, between the Minister of Youth and Sport and that of the Olympic Committee. There is a committee which is chaired by the Permanent Secretary of the Minister of Youth and Sport, which we meet from time to time to see how far we have gone, what we have done, and what is ahead of us, so that we can be able to make progress. And from time to time, we brief the Honorable Minister so that at least whatever problem we have or whatever we are expected to do, so it can be done immediately without further delay.
President of Nigeria Olympic Committee, Hapu Gumel, bringing down the list of sports that have qualified for the 2016 Rio Olympics. In total, 70 athletes have already qualified. Athletics has contributed 37. But sad story, boxing just won. Can you imagine? Nigeria and boxing, just one boxer has qualified for the 2016 Rio Olympics, and his name is Efe Ajagba. It was a disappointing outing at the African Boxing Championship in Yaoundé, Cameroon 2 months ago, and that's a testament of poor preparations. Weightlifting, nothing at the moment. They didn't even call weightlifting. Weightlifting that this country, we have produced champions, world champions, so there's still a lot of work to be done. And for the guys that have qualified, Nigeria Olympic Committee, can they start feeling the experience that the Olympics is here already? It's August the 5th that it will start, and then athletes are not yet in camp after a poor outing at the London 2012 Olympics. So much to talk about. Let's talk about this Nigeria's preparations for the Olympics. Let's go to Twitter, Facebook. Let's talk about it. What do you think? You think Nigeria can go to the 2016 Olympics with what we know that is going on and win medals? Talk to us on Twitter, channels_sports, and on Facebook, we're channels-sports. Let's talk about Nigeria's preparations for the 2016 Rio Olympics. So Solomon has left the studio, and Julian Adjoa is here with us. Julian, good to have you join us on the program.
Yeah, good evening, Austin. It's a pleasure being on the show as always.
And look at what you've come to meet, the Olympics. Barely, there's about 96 more days to the Olympics, and athletes are not yet in camp, but the president is saying, look, we are putting measures in place to support athletes to impress. But don't you think good preparation is a key part of it?
It's always a good part of it. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Wow.
And if you look at teams or countries who do well at the Olympic Games, it boils down to proper preparation. At London 2012, it was a woeful performance from the part of, or from the Nigerian perspective. And there are some teams who did not do well from 2012 that were hoping to qualify for 2016 and start preparation. But we only 70 athletes have qualified. Even weightlifting, that is one of our strengths. No athlete is going to represent us at the Olympics Games so far. In boxing, just one boxer. It's just so disheartening. Even those that have qualified, what's the guarantee? What's the assurance that they will go to Brazil and even win a medal? What's our strength when it comes to sports? Is it football? Is it boxing? Is it weightlifting? There are a lot of countries who know their strengths. Is it the long distance races? Is it short distance races? We are yet to know our strength. We are yet to know our weakness. And that's why we go to all these competitions with the hope that we'll do well. You know, starting preparations, shorty preparation, and you want to be successful. I really cannot even point out where the medals will come from. But as a Nigerian, I'm hopeful that I'll come back to Nigeria with a couple of medals. But there's no even guarantee that with what we've seen on ground, that would even be successful at the Olympics.
You don't know where it's coming from. I'll tell you, and I'll also tell you. I'll say pictures on your screen in Nigeria Rowing, Canoeing, and Sailing Federation. They are confident of winning at least a medal at the Rio 2016 Olympics. Secretary of the body, Olubunmi Oluwade, says the country's representatives to the games are already working out. Do you know their names? Chiarika Kogu and Jonathan Akinyemi. They have qualified for the Olympics, and the federation believes they can emerge victorious in their various events. I'm sure you heard the president of the NOC read out those names. Chiarika Kogu and Jonathan Akinyemi. They have qualified to compete at the rowing, canoeing, and slalom event at the 2016 Rio Olympics. So let's see. Who knows? We're not known for this sort of sport, but it's heartwarming to know that we've qualified for the Olympics with it.
Well, it's heartwarming, but whether or not we can win, only time will tell. I'm sure that everyone is going to Brazil with the hope of at least getting a couple of medals. If you win a medal, you're making a name for yourself. You know, you've put yourself in that history books in Nigeria where we would always continue to remember you. In 2012, in 2008 Olympics, you're relying so much on Blessing Okagbari, but she didn't cover herself in glory. I really do not want us to rely so much
and put pressure
on any sport or on any athlete, since we are competing in various sports.
But no, Julian, they put pressure on football. Though.
Of course, there's pressure, especially on the Dream Team 6, because the Falcons didn't qualify. So there's more pressure on the Dream Team 6. It's achievable. In fact, that's the only place where I feel realistically we can get a medal.
In fact, a lot of them don't even want to know the other sport that will be,
Exactly. As long as the Dream Team 6 qualified. I'm sure that if the Dream Team 6 had not qualified, Nigerians will be so disinterested in the Olympic Games. But right now, the guys qualified, the ladies failed to qualify, and it's another opportunity for us to build on what we did in 2008 when this same coach Sam Siasi led us to finish in a second position behind the Argentines. The Argentines are also going to be here. Brazil, who have not won the Olympic Games, gold medal.
They're fired up.
Everyone is fired up. Everyone is bringing over each players. We're here Zlatan, Riyad Mahrez, James Rodriguez, Falcao. Everyone wants to be at the Olympic
wants
Games.
to play at the Olympics.
Even Neymar as well. Even Neymar as well. So there are lots of competition. So we should just prepare on our own part. And going to the Olympics, I think we'll have a decent squad to go all the way this time around.
Yeah, and it was at the 1996 Atlanta Olympics that Nigeria won gold. It was a memorable time for football in Nigeria. But let's see, Coach Samson Siasi and this Dream Team 6, they look fired up, they have the quality, and they're staying focused, particularly this period where football in Nigeria has entered a state of emergency. We'll continue to monitor all that is going down before the Olympics starts in Rio. Okay, let's continue with the show now. I love it when we talk about the Nigeria Professional Football League. That's the pride and glory of football in Nigeria at the moment. We're seeing good results. We're seeing competitive play. The coaches are improving. Players are seeing the need to impress. Fans are behaving well. We're not getting it 100% right in that aspect, but I know it will get better. Let's talk about match day 14 of the Nigeria Professional Football League. We started it with Solomon Onu. Let's just complete it. We told you Ikorodu United will be taking on Heartland. That's one we played at the Agege Stadium on Saturday. There's also MFM taking on Akwa United. Can Akwa United bounce back? They've gotten a victory away from home, I think, against El Kanemi, in Katsina. Let's see if they can, do the same against MFM. But MFM also looking good, decent side, newly promoted, but there are no pushovers. You heard it from Solomon also. Shooting Stars of Ibadan will be hoping to bounce back after that humiliating 6-0 bashing they received from the hands of Kano Pillars. It's not even good for the history of Shooting Stars. They'll be playing Plateau United. Let's see what will come out of that. Sunshine Stars will take on Kano Pillars. Rivers United will take on Rangers International. Match day 14 of the Nigeria Professional Football League. Nassau United will play Warri Wolves. Warri Wolves, they need to really rediscover their steps, find out what's going on with their football before it starts getting late. Giwa FC, no confirmation yet if Giwa FC will be playing this game against Wiki Tourist. You know the story. Match day 13, that game against Enugu Rangers was abandoned in the 78th minute. The LMC said, okay, we will continue where it stopped in Abuja. Enugu Rangers showed up. Giwa FC didn't show up. Fast forward the story again. LMC came out with fines. Giwa FC were not sure if they, because they didn't respond, they didn't appeal, they didn't turn up for anything as regards that abandoned game. And now we're expecting them to play that game against Wicked Tourist. Hopefully they will get to play it. And if I know, we will take on Abia Warriors. Julian, where do you think we can get an away win? Enugu Rangers, Rivers United, or this guy that just left, Heartland, Ikorodu?
Well, I think Heartland have a very good chance of beating Ikorodu United. A lot of teams have come to Lagos to pick up points. Giwa FC came here, beat them by 2 goals to 1. Rivers United came here, beat them by 3 goals to 2. You know, we saw Abia Warriors coming here to get a draw. In fact, the only game they've won, that's Ikorodu United, was against Lobi Stars, which they struggled to win by 1-0. They are winless in their last 11 games. And you ask yourself, where would the inspiration come from? You know, like the coach of the side said, that's Sam Okpodu. The inexperience is beginning to show up. You know, I've not seen any experienced player in that team, because for a newly promoted side who wants to at least maintain their top flight status, they need to get a couple of experienced players, players who know the terrain, players who can act as role models to those young players coming up. And that's why I feel, you know, they've struggled. 13 games, they've lost 9 already. They're not even scoring goals. You know, if you watch their games, you see them showing a lot of promise, but their major is they concede a lot of goals.
Final finishing,
you know, they concede goals here and there, and they create lots of chances, but profligacy has always been their major problem. So I feel Heartland are prepped up. If you can go to Aba and get a draw, after Enyimba went to Akwa to beat them by 2-0, they came back to Umuahia against Heartland. Heartland got a draw there.
Look at the game against Sunshine.
Exactly.
Last minute penalty.
Exactly. So I feel Heartland can do enough to get a victory. I'm not even looking at the draw. I'm looking at the victory against
Okay. So that's it. We'll continue to monitor match day 14 of the league, and